Hey, this is a short reading for the truckers, and I chose the Knight of Pentacles to represent the truckers in Canada. And the reason I chose this card is because I want to convey their sense of patience, consistency, resilience, and also their ability to supply people with earthly goods, which is what they've been doing for the past 2 years during the lockdowns. So the current situation that we have here, what we've got is the Lover's card in reverse and this is a mage, but it's not a mage card. It's actually a Wheel of Fortune card stepping on the Lover's card. So this is a effect on the Lovers reversed. Lovers reversed, in my opinion, is the representation of the government not wanting to meet up with the truckers, not wanting to meet up with the people who are also on the truckers' side, the Canadians who are being represented by the truckers. And this is just a Wheel of Fortune. This is where we are right now. This is the current situation, and there's just no luck with it, and that's fine, because Wheel of Fortune turns, and sometimes we get a nice turn, sometimes we get a bad turn, and so this is just one of those situations. Now the aspirations of the truckers is a fresh start, a new start, looking into the future. But again, this is in the reverse. I mean, this deck, which is the vice versa deck, is a little bit difficult to read because sometimes the reverses are negative and sometimes they're positive and sometimes they're neither negative nor positive. And this one, I don't interpret it as the negative one. Their aspirations still remain to be forward-looking, still remain to be reaching towards a fresh start, reaching towards new horizons, so to speak. But there is something in the reverse that perhaps it just hasn't. Again, the wheel hasn't turned to the point where we get that start or they get that start. So this is the aspirations of the people that the truckers represent, and this is the World card, and again it's turned backwards. Again, not that it's negative, but it again perhaps just demonstrates that it's just not the time yet. The wheel hasn't turned to that point where a change can be made. This is a position of the card which is the unknown. So perhaps what the people being represented by the truckers, the protesters on the Parliament Hill in Ottawa, perhaps what they don't know is maybe the world is behind them. The world is supporting them, although they should know it by now. I don't know, a lot of them make live stream. They live stream their videos, and of course in the chat there's people from all over the world writing to them. So hopefully most of the people on the Parliament Hill are aware that they're being supported by the rest of the world, and or perhaps maybe they know but they don't consider it. So maybe this is just a call to consider it, a call to remember it, a call to cling to it as a tool, or as an inspiration at least. All right, so the near future, where it all began, is the reverse Eight of Wands. The reverse Eight of Wands signifies a quick ending to something. This is the reverse of it. This is, things not ending. This is things not landing where they should. So the near, sorry, I think I said near future. I meant to say near past. So this is the closest past that we have. So this is the entrance into the situation. This is how we entered the situation. So excuse me for that. So what preceded the current situation is the unending, this reverse Eight of Wands, this unending process that seems to have no end. So that I found quite accurate when that card fell out, so I'm fairly glad that it did. Now, for the near future, I've gotten the Knight of Wands reversed. So what I like about it is that it's walking away. The horse is walking away, and it seems to be these same wands that don't want to land, don't want to finish the process. So hopefully what this signifies, the way I read it, is that in some near future, perhaps in the month of February, there is going to be a change in the resistance towards the people protesting on the Parliament Hill. Perhaps maybe the government, maybe, let's say the powers that encouraged this unending process, maybe perhaps they would be walking away. At least for the time being. Now on to the personal reserve of the truckers. I haven't thought too long about this, but in the personal reserve, I perhaps want to note that what I see is some sort of lacking, and they're searching for something, and again, they're searching peacefully. This is their intent. This is the best that they can do. These people know that if they're going to apply violence, it's not going to lead them anywhere. So their best bet is to be patient and to look for and insist on something that they need. Interesting imaging of the sun / moon here. Again, I haven't thought about what that means. I just threw out these cards and got this reading, and I really haven't thought about it. I'm just kind of going along with it and filming as I think. But this is the reserve of the, let's say, the truckers, let's say the protesters at the Parliament Hill. This is the influence of the other people. So I guess the other side, whatever that side might be, whether it's the government currently in power or it's the people who oppose the movement for whatever reason. And this is the influence that they have, which is interestingly blindfolded. And don't forget that this card in the Rider-Waite also has a moon, and moon is a representation of sometimes a representation of delusion, right? Could also be dreams, could also be psychic abilities and stuff like that. But again, this card, which represents an inability to choose, almost like having your hands tied, not being able to choose between one or the other side, not having enough information. So this is the representation of the other people. Here we have fears and aspirations. It could be either aspirations or fears, and the fears that the people on the hill have. I mean, this is a negative card in general, so I guess the fears is that maybe there's going to be some consensus, but it just isn't going to be enough. It just isn't going to be what it is, what they're fighting for, what they're standing up for. So there's going to be some sort of granting of some sort of whatever freedom or some sort of thing, a pleasant thing, but it's just not going to be enough. It's just not going to be enough for all the effort and all the patience that they've put into it. So, but this is not the future. This is the fear, right? And now likely outcome is a Knight of Cups. And I really like this card in this position. I'm so glad that we got this. There is a big chance that we're going to get the main thing. People representing the movement of freedom are going to get what we're looking for, or at least the one thing that's most important, whatever that might be. Perhaps end to authoritarianism, perhaps end to discrimination even. So this is what, and actually end to discrimination sounds more like the truth with the Suit of Cups, right? Because we're not talking about something earthly, we're not talking about something political information wise. This is more kind of like, I'm hoping that what this means is that there's going to be more peace and less division. There's going to be a little bit more clarity in the relationship that both sides have right now. And that would be a great start, really. That would be a great start. Now, also, don't forget that not all readings come true, right? We still have willpower and we still have ways to change the future. But I chose this card as an anchor. This is the one I picked. This is not the one I kind of like got by chance. The Knight of Pentacles is something that I actually picked as an anchor. And I would like to remind everybody that the reason I got this the reading the way it is right now is because I'm making an emphasis on the fact that the way that the people on the Parliament Hill are treating the situation is with patience, care, and resilience, right? Patience, care, and resilience. Resilience comes from this being the Knight, but patience comes from this being a Suit of Pentacles. So just want to remind everybody about it. All right. Also, please don't discriminate that I'm doing like an esoteric reading on this. There are people, like, even if you disagree with the movement, there are people on your side who also disagree with the movement and do all kinds of weird things, esoteric or not. So like, please don't like start with the whole like, oh, you're one of these. Like, no, I'm not one of these. All right, bye, love everybody. Goodbye.